Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And today is Monday. It's Contribution Freedom Monday. Now, if you are new to me, every single Monday I come live and I talk about welcome and I talk about leading a life purpose-led business for, I say, driven spiritual entrepreneurs. You've got to be pretty driven to actually discover what your life purpose is and go out there and pursue that. It's not easy. Let me know what your purpose is. Let me know if you know what your purpose is, and let me know if you have a movement inside of you and you are contributing to the world in the way that you really, really would love to. So every single Monday, again, I talk about life purpose and how to put that into a business model, right? As the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, I'm all about launching, leading, and leaving our soul legacy and doing it with ease, grace, and flow. And I wanted to do that with ease, grace, and flow and raise our vibration as we go out there and we share our gifts in the world. That's like the best thing to like build your business around, right? But it's not always easy. And there's, depending on what season you might be in, will depend on the tasks and the vision that you have and the things that you actually are focused on right now. And so I talk about having light work and lifestyle balance for spiritual entrepreneurs. I think it's really super important. And what I don't mean is balance in terms of like everything is just like in equal segments. Sometimes we go after business and that'll be a bigger chunk, but we don't miss out the other areas of our life. And then if we do and we drop off, we quickly come back into alignment. And so today, again, is talking about contribution freedom. On the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, there are 7 freedoms, and you may have seen that. So today, every single Monday, this is a practical YouTube podcast, and I will repurpose this into a podcast. I'm streaming out on all of the socials, including LinkedIn today. I decided to add that into the mix. It's episode 50. I don't usually because it kind of messes everything up. Sorry, LinkedIn, but you do. And I'm streaming this out in the Soul Legacy Academy. And I teach my students, I walk my talk and I teach my students, and I give a 2-hour monthly coaching call based on the 7 Freedoms Frequency as well. We have a call-in gym. So if you are a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, welcome, and schedule on to the monthly call. It's on the first Monday of the month. And so I break down Monday, contribution freedom, Tuesday, health freedom, Wednesday, emotional freedom, Thursdays is environmental freedom, Fridays is relationship freedom, and I have to say it's my favorite day. Spiritual freedom is on Saturday and financial freedom is on Sunday. So by the end of the week, we've checked in with every single area of your life, even if you're dropping off, even if it is like, you know what, I'm just going to maintain this area of my life, but it feels in harmony with whatever it is that I'm doing. All right. And so we're setting intentions, we're intentional living. Intention is everything. You know, when you focus on a specific thing and then you go, your reticular activating system, the RAS, basically your brain focuses on more of that thing. I've seen intention everywhere. So do you set intentions? I call them soul intentions. Do you use the power of intention rather than goals and just wishing, or maybe wishing and goals, but the power of intentional living? And so the 7 freedoms is what I call the intentional living codes, and the acronym for each day spells cheers. So I say the intentional living codes, cheers to financial freedom. And so we go through each segment in the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. I'm going to do our daily rating where we're rating the vibration of where we feel like we're vibing at, like at our best. And I'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about our vision board. I have a spiritual business vision board challenge for you. I will leave the link in the show notes and the description. That happens annually in December, on the second week of December. Talk about that as well. At 7:30 p.m. UK time. It's an entire week to break down each of these 7 areas of your life for light work and lifestyle balance, and then putting them back together again. And then we journal together every single day on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. I think it's absolutely magical. So this is for me first, it's for my students, and it's for you. I talk about launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day. If, for example, your morning routine, your daytime routine, and your nighttime routine, it matters because that's your legacy. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about actually if you've dropped off or if you want to go big in a particular area, what the 1 to 3 action steps or guided action steps you can set intentions for on your vision board to manifest, and then actually move into action to meet the universe in the middle, not holding on to it really tightly. We'll talk about that. You can journal that out. You can leave it in the comments. You can buddy up with the student. You can come onto the monthly call. Let me know what your focus is. Let me know what your focus has been. Super excited about that. We're going to play the soul income game. And that's a bank 50K in 50 days challenge. We're going to do it vibrationally first. We're going to visualize. I teach you to do on the vision board challenge a video montage as well as a collage of your images on Canva. You can take those and you can put them onto a quote board as well. I used to do that. I don't so much now because I've got the vision to travel and I don't want to be carrying around a quote board. And so you play that every single day. I've just played mine, getting back into that. And then I'm going to invite you to do the Bank 50K in 50 Day Challenge with me for real in the visible world, meaning building that life purpose-led business for a driven spiritual entrepreneur. If you are, then you might not know the foundational pieces to put together in a way that feels amazing. Kind of like repurposing everything. I love repurposing. So we're going to do the Bank 50K. We're going to make it a game. We're going to make business a game. We're going to make enrolling your high-paying one-to-many soul clients a game. We're going to think about passive and leverage soul client income streams. I love it, starting with your book. We're then going to go to gratitude, and then I'm going to share the card that I pulled today and the book that I've been reading, which is my own book, actually. Usually every single day, I'll link to a book or some kind of teaching and share my insights for the day. All right, so now we're set up. What I want to do is rate our vibrational frequency. And so for that, again, if you're new to me, if you're not new to me, it's like, oh, and you're watching on the replay, that's fantastic. Like, what is your vibrational frequency? Write it down, put it into the comments. And what we do is do an abbreviation of that. Rather than writing out Contribution Freedom Mondays, we write CFM equals and what your rating is. So I'd love to see that. So my CFM equals an 11 today. So how do I rate my vibration? So we want to raise the vibration of the collective, and that starts with us. If I raise my vibration, you raise your vibrational frequency. Ultimately, we're raising the vibration of the collective, right? And so if I help my students and support my students in raising their vibration, I support my subscribers, and welcome. Thank you if you've subscribed to the YouTube channel or you've followed along to the podcast. I appreciate you. So if I support you and then you support somebody else with your light work as in your life purpose, then like we're winning, right? And so the vibrational frequency I rate according to, and I explain this on the vision board, I go into really great detail with all of this. This is just like a follow on. So if you want a really detailed explanation, have a look in the link in the show notes or in the pinned comments, and you can jump on the vision board challenge with me. And I'll talk about that in a second. But the vibrational frequency is how you're feeling. Not exactly like, oh, well, in terms of your contribution, not exactly being led by your external world, because we know if we're looking at the external world and the visible world, and it is not in alignment with our vision board, and we're getting sucked into the humanness, then we're going to just attract more of that. We're going to manifest more of that. This is more of like how you feel regardless of the visible world. It's how you just feel today. Like, you don't need everything to change in order to feel better, right? And our vibration will and our feeling and the frequency, our set point for our attraction, goes up and down every single day. But what's your predominant vibration? And you want to get it to as high as possible, like out of a 1 to 11. So 1 is like, you don't get a 0 because you're breathing. Like, we've got to be at least grateful for that, for life. 11 is, and I explain this again on the vision board challenge, is you're in alignment with source, angels, guides, that soul guidance. Excuse me, I say soul guided influences, right? That's what I'm here for. As a soul guided influencer, you're guided by your soul, and then you look at the world through the lens of your soul. Not always, but that's the idea, to be at the place where, yes, we'll have contrast in the humanness, and that's great, and that's fine. That births rockets of desire, as Abraham Hicks say. But the idea is to be in alignment with your North Star values, I call them. And your North Star is the values and the mission and the vision that you have for yourself and the world. That being in alignment with that, like, what are you doing? And we're going to talk about, again, moving towards that. If you're moving and you're progressing, it takes a while for the visible world to catch up, right? And so we don't want to be led like, oh, well, this is happening. Say, if you want to become a #1 best-selling author and you're not, you still have to come from the feeling place of, I'm a #1 best-selling author, right? And so I came from that feeling place of, I'm a #1 best-selling author, and it manifested. Did I have to take action? Yes. Did I have to write the book? Yes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, and I think that's a really great example of, okay, well, we can visualize, we can put things on our vision board, but we still have to take action, right? And so when we rate between a 1 and 11, 1 is soul funk and 11 is soul flow. And again, I explain more about this on the Vision Board Challenge. I won't dive deep into this every single day. And again, I have the 2-hour monthly coaching call where I can hold you accountable. Every single month, we have 2 hours. It's a group coaching call where we've got that accountability for staying as high vibe as we can. And when we when we dip in our vibration, our feeling, then we don't allow that to dominate, right? And to take us out for weeks and years, right? Like, that's not the one. That's not what we're here for. So rate your vibration. Again, CFM equals. And if you are, wherever you are on the socials, tag me, right? Tag me. If you're on the YouTube channel, I'll see it. Some of the places where this is streamed, I won't see. But have an accountability buddy, a journaling accountability buddy. If you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, you have a SABS, a Soul Accountability scholarships. I have scholarships for you to bring someone in, for you to actually just go on this path with you, right? I can't hold everybody's hand, but what I can do is provide a space for you to, I can contribute in that way, because it's Contribution Freedom Monday, for you to bring someone in to the Soul Legacy Academy and actually say, you know what, here, you know, I want to do this. And Iona's not always available 24/7. I am available every day. And you might get on a Zoom call with them and actually go through all of my teachings, whether you're in the bootcamp or you're in the mastermind. I'm going to talk about that in terms of what it is that I set the intention to contribute and what's going on for me in a second. So that's our vibration, right? The next segment of the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast for spiritual entrepreneurs who want to lead a life purpose-led business, and you're driven and motivated to, because let me tell you, you need to be. In order for it to manifest, it's not going to come just out there. So again, I do the Vision Board Challenge, and on each day of the Vision Board Challenge, and again, there's replays for you to go through. I will actually walk you through each area, and we'll set intentions, and we'll see how you want to contribute in the world, see what your business you want your business to look like, and what is the main primary focus that you want to hit for the year, right? For 12 months until we do it again. And again, if you watch the replays, I do it live on the second week in December at 7:30 p.m. UK time. I've got a comment that says that, I think. No, I haven't. Well, I did. I actually have the comment for the call and for the Zoom call. I'm going to leave that up because I want to invite you to that at the end of the month, and I'd love for you to come on to that. And that's the vision that I had as well, and that's my primary goal, is to invite you on that. I'm going to pull that up again. That link is in the show notes and in the description. So if you have my mission is to support you in becoming a best-selling author, whether that is in my co-author book series or in your own solo book. I've done that myself. I got my book to #1 on Amazon in the Kindle store in 7 days, 7 categories in 7 days. And I gave myself a year to write it. And now I'm launching the paperback book and I love it. And I'm collapsing the process into a short space of time for you. The way that manifested on my vision board I put it on my vision board with the cover of my book. And I put it in place on my Amazon Author Central page. I've already been a #1 bestselling author in 3 co-author books. I'm just thinking if it was 2 at that point, 3 co-author books. And the third one I think it came after I'd done mine because I helped that to become #1. And so my contribution in the world is to actually help you to share your spiritual awakening story and your spiritual ascension tools and alchemize and package up, go through that spiritual alchemy process of packaging up your gifts as a spiritual entrepreneur and fulfilling your life's purpose and getting paid in that process and leading with a book. And creating a spiritual business based book in order to market your book, actually launching your book on YouTube and having YouTube be the primary platform that informs and that streams out on the other socials. It's so easy and supports your students as well. It's so easy. A lot of people think that, well, it's easy when you know how, right? Because I used to think it was really hard. And especially when you've got technology by your side, right? So I am streaming this one episode and every single episode onto the socials, onto the social media. So I'm not someone that creates a bunch of content. I might share somebody's content. I do my daily lives for the 7 Freedoms frequency. I do my own journaling practice. So I'm repurposing my own practice. I'm streaming out on my YouTube channel. And thank you again to all those who have subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. Then you'll get notified when I do go live. And share this out to somebody else who needs it, who is a spiritual entrepreneur, who has a movement inside of them, and they want that light work and that lifestyle balance, and they want to fulfill their life's purpose and get paid, right? And have passive and leveraged soul client income streams. And so I repurposed this my YouTube channel as a business YouTube channel. It's not a hobby channel. And then I repurpose this live stream and I stream it I love it, into the Soul Legacy Academy, which I'm the founder of, to support my students from the monthly call. So in between a 2-hour monthly call, we've got daily lives, right? And this acts as an accountability when we're doing the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge, whether you're paying or not, like to raise your vibration and become the person who is contributing in the world the way that you have on your vision board, right? And so I also repurpose this into a podcast. And so at the Soul Legacy TV and the Soul Legacy Academy, I merge it. And this is also in the challenge group as well. So I'm a big repurposer. So if you think, oh God, I wanted to start a podcast, I want to start a YouTube channel, I actually want to have a course, I want to have a 2-hour monthly coaching call, a group coaching call, I want to have blah, 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 fill in the blank. This is the way that I contribute in the world. And I'm telling you, it's amazing because it's for me. It's a process for me that I used coming out to help me come out of my spiritual awakening and the dark night of the soul, because it was so dark. And then I knew that the journaling was one of the spiritual ascension tools I use, but also that my soul tribe use as well. And I call it my STAP, your ideal client profile, or whatever it is. I call it a soul tribe, avatar, persona, or profile. So I'm able to contribute in the world an hour a day, but the hour is for me. You know, when people say launch your day or lead your day with a power hour, this is my power hour, but I've decided to actually share it with you, share it with my students, repurpose it into a podcast. So the contribution freedom gets easier. I've actually had a hack for myself and I share it with my students. So again, what is on your vision board? becoming a #1 bestselling author. And again, I've repurposed it for my book. So my book is called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch. That's what I'm doing. Like, I started from scratch. A soul guided influencer, again, guided by our soul. Influencer's compass. The compass is the 7 freedoms to leverage. I've just shown you how I leverage a Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. Right. And so this is the way, that the vision that I had for my book. And again, the way that manifested was not me having to write all of the book, like, and slog, because people do. I've known one of my guests that I share as part of my contribution on the Spiritual Awakening on a YouTube Summit, hearing other people's stories and what they've been through. And again, that's part of my contribution, giving my guests, the fellow soul guided instructors, a place to share their voice and a place to reach my soul tribe. Right. I love it. And so as the YouTube channel grows, it's just going to get better and better and bigger and bigger. So I wanted to do that. And again, on my vision board, there's me being in alignment with, okay, what am I doing and how can I get that out into the world? And actually, how can I use YouTube and how can I use my voice and my platform to share my gifts and shine my light? So the vision board challenge had me manifest being a #1 bestselling author in the most magical and easy ways. I didn't sit there writing the book. I shared the book and I had the cover of the book for a long time before I actually started to write the book. And now I'm publishing the paperback, and then I will do the Audible as well. So if you want to know this process, again, I'll invite you to our monthly call and the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. It's such a beautiful process. I love it. I feel so blessed that I'm able to contribute to the world in this way. The next thing after the vision board, what I want to say is, again, people have morning routines, which I've been inspired by several people, Robin Sharma and Hal Elrod, talking about morning routines. You may have heard of both of those influencers. And so I wanted to, there's a few influencers that I read their books and stuff that influence me, right? And so T. Harv Eker talks about Robin Sharma says that your net worth will never exceed your self-image, I think. And then T. Harv Eker says that your income can only grow to the extent that you do. So when I went through the dark night of the soul and I realized, oh, okay, I've got a poverty consciousness, I want to transition to a prosperity consciousness. This is how I did it. By raising my vibration, I've awakened to my own life purpose, and I wanted to create a business around it. Hopefully that will make sense. So how we launch our day, our morning routines, Robin Sharma and Hal Elrod, many people talk about how important it is for you to launch your day. I say launch your day. To get out of bed, and the things that we do, we only have 24 hours in a day. And the most amazing people that you admire in the industry who are contributing to the world only have those same 24 hours. So if you're not on point and you're not doing what it is that you really want to do, that's on you. And that's on you to alter your vibration, set the energy of that, get clear on the vision board challenge. And vision boards work. We know they work. Get clear on, okay, well, if I want to contribute in the world, how am I going to launch my day? For me, when I wake up, the first thing I do, I'll listen to either a YouTube video or a book. That just, like, while I'm in bed now, I used to jump up and get up really super early. And I love it, and I still do. Right now, I'm in the season where I don't have my own home office, so my routine comes in. So I start a little bit later in the day, but I'm awake, right, and I can listen to something while moving around households and stuff. So I started to do that, and that feels amazing because it just inspires me for other people contributing. It kind of just boosts me for the day. I love it. And I get to share the books. Again, I was reading my own book this morning, right? How I launched my day. I was reading my own book in the Facebook group that I have. We have a Telegram channel as well. A Telegram group, sorry. We do have a Telegram channel and a group for the book launch club. And I know that my soul tribe read books. I know that you read books. I know that you probably read a lot of books. books can transform lives. And so, and excuse me, that's why you want to create your book or write your book, or you've written your book, right? And so I have the Spiritual Entrepreneurs Best-Selling Book Launch Club with me, Iona Meade. I'm super excited about that. It's been less than a week since I created it, but what I've done is I've put my 11 principles for how to start, grow, and build your online business, a successful online spiritual business, on YouTube with a #1 best-selling book launch, this is part of my book. And this is part of, for those in my readership community will see this YouTube channel. I also have weekly videos, which I will contribute, which are directly more related to the book, but this is the lifestyle piece of the book. And we have the Lightwork piece of the book. I love it. It's like segmenting my YouTube channel and my playlist. You'll see them on the YouTube channel. It's just an amazing feeling to know that I can contribute and I can talk to my readers whenever they're reading the book. And again, that was on my vision board. So when I get up in the morning and I read a book, today I was honored and blessed. Hey, welcome. I was honored and blessed to read my own book. In that group, I want to know if you have launched a book, if you want to write a book, if you'd love to be part of my co-author book series and share your spiritual awakening story, if you have a free chapter for your book, all the things related to your book is gonna, don't have the link in the show notes actually, but if you go on to Facebook, you'll see the spiritual, actually, I will put the link on the monthly call. Let me just make a note for that. Like link book club on the monthly call on here. I have a little bit of an intake form. I will put the link there for you to request to join the group. How about that? Then I don't have to add it to all of the descriptions. So if you come to the monthly networking call, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers networking call, YouTube podcasting partnerships for spiritual entrepreneurs with a movement, it's a 90-minute free networking call for us to come together, co-create and collaborate and cross-promote. I'll put the link in that. I'll put the link on my online calendar. You can go to Facebook as well, but I'll put the direct link, or I might put it in the pinned comments. You'll find it either way. But if you have a book, you've got that on your vision board, amazing. Do you read a book every single day? They say, you know, when we're doing our work in the world, like becoming that expert and that authority by putting in 10,000 hours, but also by increasing our knowledge. And I don't mean getting bogged down with trying to read a whole book. I will listen to a book or read a book that day for, like, I don't know, if I'm going on my walk, I'll usually listen to it for the majority of like a half an hour walk, an hour tops. But I might stop and speak it out. I might speak out what I've learned, or I might speak out how I'm pulling what I'm learning into my own lifestyle. I don't read a book if it's not going to be relevant, and I don't need to get through all of the books. Sometimes you might just open the book and get what you need, right? And so you might have left off, and that's been happening for me. The book might backtrack like a couple of pages, and you know, if I'm listening, I'll be like, I listened to this last week, but I've got more from it, or I've implemented it, and then I'll have some more teaching and some more learning. I love the way that we can contribute in the world with our online business, but also with books. Books, again, transform lives. And you can let me know what your favorite books are. I have a list of books in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers network, in the private student community, of the books that my favorite books. And again, the books for the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call and Gym, I do have a bunch of books to recommend to you. Okay, so how you launch your day. How do you launch your day? That's how I launch my day. I'm in the middle of my day. I think it's about after 2 o'clock. So I'm leading my day. You launch, lead, and leave your soul legacy. Your day, every 24 hours is your legacy. We don't know how long we've got, right? So, and I'm not trying to wish anybody's life away, but we don't. And I've had a lot of losses in my life that has made me see, actually, you know, my dad, my biological father, my big brother, my son, like, and friends. It's like, you know, and an ex, actually. Do you know what? I've just realized that just came to, oh my goodness, that just came to my mind of, I was like, wow. Um, I've had a lot of losses, and people are like, wow, that is a lot of male figures. And I was like, I just haven't lost a partner. And I'm like, I can't even, I don't even know. And then I'm like, well, I've survived everything else. I'm here and I'm standing, I'm smiling. But one of the first losses that really took me down for like 2 years was a loss of an ex. So I've done that. Let me strike that off. Like, and it was through suicide. It was just horrendous, a most horrendous part. And I think that actually was one of my first spiritual awakenings, if not the first spiritual awakening. Like, wow, I've just realized that, and I'm going to share it in the spiritual awakening group. I literally, wow, because I've had this kind of feeling of, oh my gosh, if that happened as well, but it already happened. But we just were not together. I got dumped. It was the first time I've ever got dumped. Just saying, the contribution and how we make others feel, and the contribution, how we launch, lead, and leave our day impacts other people. You've heard it say that, how we move in life, how we have other people, influence others by the way that we make them feel, right? And so how you launch your day, lead your day, is your legacy every single day. Every single day. And we were late teens, sorry. Wow. That set like the trajectory of my grieving. It was harsh, and I made a vow to never allow myself to go to that depth, because I didn't know whether I was going to come out the other side. And so I'm 50 now, and so I'm grateful. It was like 3 decades ago. I'm very grateful. Wow. Okay. How we launch our day, lead our day, and leave our day. In terms of your contribution, we'll cover the other 7 freedoms throughout the week. Just segment this and isolate this area of your life. Look at Monday, look at Tuesdays, look at Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Do you work on the weekend? Do you work in the early morning before anybody gets up? Do you need to work early morning? I have the 7 freedoms frequency and the intentional living codes online calendar to help you put each area on your calendar. So how do you want to launch your day every single day, whether it's Monday to Friday, whether that's half the week, whatever it is, or in any given month? How do you see yourself contributing in the world? So when I did my online calendar, this was it. I was like, I'm going to slam as many things as I can in this out. I'm going to repurpose. I'm going to do all the most. And so I'd gone through a breakthrough session with a guy called Rich Litvin. He's the Ever Coach guy from Mind Valley, years and years and years ago. And his contribution impacted my contribution, because I ended up having 2 calls with him a few months apart when I split from my ex-husband. And then I went back to the house, and he said, what is it that you want to experience, Iona? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't asking. He said, put your hand on your heart and just ask. And he said, your heart's been protecting you from the loss of my brother. And I'm like, wow. And just tears and all the things. But how Rich described doing his work in the world at the time, he said he never wanted to have a distinction between marketing and his coaching. He wanted it to be the same. So he was like, get on a coaching call for 2 hours and coach someone like they've never been coached before. And he had a program, I can't remember what it was called, and it was 25,000 per year at the time. And I was like, wow. And now he's coaching for the Mind Valley guy. But I'm always grateful for his contribution. If we can get out of our own way, welcome. If we can get out of our own way and we can contribute in the world that deep and have that ripple effect, I'm like, yes, we're winning. So how we launch our day, lead our day, and leave our day. So when we put our head on our pillow at night, we're good. Are you showing up? Are you speaking out? Are you serving deep? Are you signing up your high paying soul clients? Do you have a system around your spiritual business as a spiritual entrepreneur leading a life purpose led business? Have you got your gifts out of you? And have you created a process and a system around it? It's a challenge to do it. It's not easy. I teach it, but it's not easy. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? But when we do it, it's absolutely amazing. And then we can earn those passive income streams and those leveraged soul client income streams. And we can charge. And I was talking to one of my guests for the Spiritual Awakening on the YouTube Summit, and we were talking about alchemizing our gifts and the foundations that not all light workers have. Like, we're great at, serving in the world, but we can't just serve one-on-one, because it's not in our calling is serving. Our soul calling is serving us to serve at a bigger and a deeper level and wider and globally. And when we serve just one-on-one, I love doing one-on-ones, don't get me wrong, but my whole business model is not created and designed around that. I do tithe my time. So we want to be packaging up our gifts so that we can launch, lead, and leave our soul legacy with downtime and having that time, money, and energy freedom. Okay, so deciding on your vision board, deciding on your online calendar how you want to launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. And if you need some support around that, again, come to the monthly call and I'll share with you, or come to the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. The next step is like, we've decided what this vision is, right? And when you do that, I've got a deviated septum, that's why I'm sniffing. When you decide, okay, this is how I want to look, this is how I want to live, right? This is the vision that I have before my time is up on this earthly plane. This is the legacy. Okay, what 1 to 3 soul-guided action steps do you need to take in order for that to happen? Now, we might think, okay, well, I'm just going to visualize. Again, I use the example of the book. I'm just going to visualize being a #1 best-selling author. Do you feel like you have to write that book? In order, like, the universe is not just going to come and put a stamp, oh, I'm a #1 best-selling author now, right? You're going to have to do something. You're going to have to write it. You're going to have to learn. And for me, I support you in creating a business around your book, creating a YouTube channel around your book, creating a course around your book, like creating marketing around your book. That is so powerful. So what 1 to 3 soul-guided action steps can you do? So you want to journal on it. You can put it down in the comments if you want to. And if you're a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, then you can come to our monthly coaching call and get some coaching around it, so that you can launch your day in a way that you're really proud of, in a way that you think, yeah, you know what, this is the best way for me to leave my legacy every single day. The next segment of the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is the soul income game. Now, I have a journal, and what I teach as well is, and you may have seen it out there, it's not like new, but I really do think it's super important. So I teach to write your book, but also to create a companion journal, right, for your readers, and also to create a companion journal and notebook. This is a blank notebook for my students in the Soul Legacy Academy, and also for the viewers on the Spiritual Awakening on your YouTube Summit. So once you've written your book, imagine that your readers are not just reading your book. You don't just leave them on the pages, you take them off the page and actually have them implement what it is that you're teaching, what it is that you're writing about. So if you create a business around your book and you contribute in that way, then you can walk your students through that. So this is my companion journal. It's called the Soul Legacy Journal. It is a notebook. You can get it on Amazon. You can get the bigger version on Lulu. And so I call it 365 days of your spiritual awakening. And so when you are awakened to your life purpose and what it is that you're here to contribute, I wanted to have a place to document that process and document each and every single year, so you can do that. And I say it's a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So you write down in your journal how you want to contribute, any actions, or just a scrap piece of paper or a different notebook, whatever, a different journal. And the way that I designed this journal is to hold you accountable for not only contributing in the world as we do, but also receiving the financial freedom and having that life work and lifestyle balance. So this journal is a magical journal. And I say that it gives you £1,000, dollars or euros, wherever you are in the world, to spend each day. So imagine if you were contributing in the world the way that you really want to. You've written your book, you've created your online courses, you're out there, you're getting featured out in the media, you're doing all the things, and you're allowing yourself to receive that financial freedom. So as the book, if it gave you £1,000, dollars or euros, what would you spend it on? I know that my audience have what they call money blocks. Like, you want to do your work in the world, but you're not okay with receiving the financial freedom. And for me, I wanted to change that. I wanted to shift that. So if this journal gives you £1,000, dollars or euros, what would you spend it on? If you've done the vision board challenge, this will make that easier for you. And again, there's rules to this. So you spend your vibrational money voucher. You can spend it every day. This was inspired by, I don't have it here. This was inspired by the book Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, by Jerry and Esther Hicks. They teach to spend vibrational money and document it. And every single day they double the money. And so if you do their game, the prosperity game it's called, for a year, you end up spending 66 million. And I was like, that doesn't feel doable for me in my business. 66 million, it might be one day, but I wanted to create a process where I was thinking, okay, well, when I get my gifts out there, what will that look like and what will that feel like? And if you do the vision board and if you're not new to vision boards, you'll know that we have to see it. We have to energetically see ourselves in receipt of whatever it is that we're visualizing. So there's rules to the game. So you spend it, you tithe 10% every single day. And that just helps you to see, actually, when I'm contributing in the world, I'm not just contributing in my own business. I'm actually contributing and I'm tithing. I'm doing good things. Lots of people think that money's the root of all evil. Money's this, money's that. And we want to shift that. We want to shift and change that, because as a spiritual entrepreneur, you're not going to get your gifts out there and receive the money if you think that, it's a bad thing. So we spend the vibrational money voucher. We tithe to a worthy cause. My worthy cause is Compassionate Friends. And it's a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. So I dedicate my work and to my son. And so you have your worthy cause, whatever that is for you, right? We come from the space and the energy of all of our bills are done. That's removing. On Emotional Freedom Wednesdays, we'll talk about your emotions and managing them. That's handling your emotions. So you're not worried about it. You're not in fear about it. You can spend, or you want to come from the space that all your bills are taken care of, all your taxes are paid, and all of your savings, you've got savings for a year. So you actually have the Soul Legacy Journal gives you the freedom to be it. And this is why the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, it gives you the freedom every single day to practice the vibration. Welcome. To practice the vibration of being in alignment with your vision of freedom, how you want to contribute in the world, in the way that brings you freedom in your light work and your lifestyle. So that might be for you writing your book, right? It was for me. It might be creating a course. It might be doing a retreat. It might be doing a VIP day. It might be group coaching. It might be just leveraging your time. I love to create passive and leverage income streams. In the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge is vibrational. So we play this game so that you're setting the energy forth and it's believable for you, right? What's the saying? Whatever the mind of man or woman can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So we want to conceive it, and then we want to believe it. So you just practicing and being in a safe space and spending that vibrational money voucher is lit. It's absolutely an amazing process. And when you couple that with the visioning and you couple that with journaling, it's called intentional living in alignment with your values. So I have a vision for freedom, how I want to contribute in the world. Welcome. I have my values of freedom is one of my top values. It's not my only value, about being integrity and being authentic and being honest and just showing up raw and real, right? Every single day. That's in alignment. And marketing, this is me marketing. This is me working in alignment with my values. All I'm doing is sharing a process that I used to help me get out of my dark night of the soul, help me go through my spiritual awakening, And then these were the spiritual ascension tools that I use that help me alchemize this process. So I wish somebody would have shared it with me, right? And so we go through that dark night. And so when we contribute in the world and we write our book and we do a companion journal, you do your own process through your journaling. I love it. I absolutely love it. I feel really blessed to be able to say, actually, on the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, this process is for me and I want to share it with you. The Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge is a way to get out of your own way and balance each area of your life, contribute and receive the financial freedom. And I know that we're not driven by the money. I know that we're driven by our purpose. The cost of living has gone up and we need money, right? We need money to live in the world in the way that we want to, in the way that we can travel. I talk about traveling while you teach on Thursdays for environmental freedom, right? So do the soul income game, write it down, let me know how you find it. And we have a group for that as well. We have the soul income game, Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, Vision Board Challenge. It's on Facebook as well. I do have private student communities because I didn't want to rely on just having a Facebook group, but we do have that. Ask to join. Again, all the links, you'll find them. That's the soul income game. I've closed the journal. Hang on. Let me see, because I've done it in a different order today. We've done our rating, our vibrational rating. We've done the vision board. We've done, that's not even the page. Hang on. We've done, I'm turning the pages. We've done our steps, our soul guided action steps. We've visualized. How do we want to making a decision? And even if life doesn't look and feel the way that you really want it to, what steps can you take? Done the soul income game. The book, as I talked about, my book was the book that I was reading today. And it's all about starting your spiritual business. I've got 11 principles. I don't have the principles listed out here, but I talk about going public. The principles of consistently going public is the first chapter. I gift a free chapter. I gift a free chapter, and it's a free introductory chapter, but I also give another 2 chapters. So the first chapter is about consistently going public, meaning showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. I know that it's so tempting to hide behind closed doors. I know that. Like, I don't love camera. I still don't love camera. But I wanted to have that connection with you, what I call a soul to soul connection. I wanted to just have a conversation. This YouTube podcast is just me having a conversation, right? So that was the book that I've read, that I was reading today. I've got the book launch. It's going to be on the 20th of December. It's actually in on the same day as my big brother's birthday, in loving memory of him and my godson's mom. They shared their birthday. I was guided over this last week to create the spiritual spiritual entrepreneurs best-selling book launch club, so I could launch my book. It's already a #1 bestseller anyway, and share it with you. And again, you can read some of it. The card that I have for today, then I'm going to say gratitude, and then I'm going to invite you to the call, and then we're going to wrap up. So the card that was from the Keepers of the Light, this oracle deck. I might read, I think I'll read it actually. I think I'll read the card. We've got like 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Mercury, open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. I love that. I don't feel like I've got like a weight on my chest. I did when that came up before. I thought, well, I got something to say. Let me look it up. M for Mercury. I haven't got my glasses. Page 82. Let's see if I can read it without putting my glasses on, because I have got them actually. Mercury is the Roman god of messages and communication. In Greek mythology, he is known as Hermes. He has often been depicted with wings on his feet, representing his capacity to be swift and carrying I can't say that, like the swordy thing, I think. The same healing wand that Archangel Raphael is known to carry. As well as overseeing communication, he oversees the planet Mercury. When he goes retrograde, which means it appears to go backwards, when seen from the Earth, communication can be delivered can be delayed or difficult. We can call on Mercury for help with loving, honest, and open communication. Hopefully you've got that from me today. Divination and any form of expressive art, such as writing, poetry, and journalism. Yes, doing my writing. I'm just saying. Don't do poetry. He can also help us heal miscommunications that have caused distress. That's big. That's big. Extended message, open all levels of communication now. Important messages, information, and insights are being shared. You may hear from an old friend or family member, okay, or have an opportunity to finally understand a loved one you've not had an easy time with. And I'm thinking what comes to mind. I actually thought of the soulmate connection, and I don't want to go there. I'm not doing it. I let that go. You may be able to clarify situations where you feel you weren't heard properly or misunderstood. Get things off your chest in a loving way. I think that's like, yes, I'm getting messages on Tinder. Girls, I'll talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday, just saying. So that you can clear all roads to love in your life. Can I get it? See, I didn't even read that, and that it is about that. It is definitely about that. Listen to communication is a two-way street. Mercury is here now to allow you to hear clearly and be heard. Can I get an amen? I think I will read what is in the book, because I've been reading the card, pulling the card and not actually reading it. All right. Book card done. Gratitude. Okay, I want to end this episode with gratitude. And we want to do it the Seven Freedoms frequency way. Okay. So in order to pull the energy of the intentional living codes, we're setting intentions and what I say, rise and reside to what I call the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. Excuse me. We want to bring all of the seven freedoms in. So the C is for contribution freedom, Monday. H of cheers is health freedom, Tuesdays. E, one of the E's, is emotional freedom, Wednesdays. The second E is environmental freedom, Thursdays. The R is relationship freedom, Fridays. The S is spiritual freedom, Saturdays, and the F is financial freedom, Sundays. So I want to say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate all of those areas, and we'll go one at a time. Now, it can be something that is in the past, in the present, or in the predicted future, which is on your vision board, right? So I want to say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate I'm able to contribute and get my #1 best-selling book in paperback into hundreds of light workers and spiritual entrepreneurs' hands. Love the Amazon and the other bookstores are there for us to upload our books for free and contribute in the world. Like, I'm super happy and grateful and appreciate that. I'm happy and welcome. I'm happy and grateful. I'm doing my gratitude on my little love heartstone that my daughter gave me. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health freedom. So I want to bring all of the seven freedoms in. So when you do your gratitude or your journaling on gratitude, I like to soul speak it into existence. Don't forget to bring each area up in your life and express gratitude for that. Like, we don't want to just say I'm happy and grateful for one area. It's all areas, even if you're not working on them actively. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my health. So on the vision board challenge, I talk about your mental health, your emotional health, your social health, your environmental health, your spiritual health, all the health, right? Your physical, all the health. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my emotional health, like, because I'm aware of my emotional health. Hey, love, how you doing, Robin? Thank you for joining me. I'm just doing the gratitude, as you know. Let me know, Robin. I'm going to stop doing my gratitude for just a second because we're almost at the top of the hour. Let me know how you're feeling today, what your vibrational frequency is, and Robin already knows how to do that. And so it is Contribution Freedom Monday. So CFM equals what that equals. We can have a little bit of a snapshot. And then I can have a little bit of a conversation with you if you want to stay on and see how you're contributing. And I'll give you a little bit of a recap and a summary of this episode, if you like. I'd love spending time with you. So thank you for joining me. So it's afternoon for me when you say good morning. So health, I did health, my emotional health. I'm aware of my emotional health. And over this last week, as I've gone through my monthly cycle, I'm aware of that. And so my body, I'm 50, and my body is still deciding to have cycles. I'm just saying, like, okay, grateful because I birthed my 2 children, so grateful. But they're not needed. I've been sterilized. And I'm just like, my emotions go up and down, and I eat differently. And I always say this, and Robin knows, like, I eat and I emotionally eat and all those things. But I'm really happy and grateful that I'm aware of it, right? Like, I'm aware. Because there was a point in time that I wasn't aware, and I didn't do anything, say anything to anyone, bite anybody's head off, make a mad decision. Maybe, I'm not sure. I try not to. So Robin's contribution freedom is at a 10. And again, we rate between a 1 and a 10, at 1 and 11, sorry. And so 11 is like, I'm on point, I'm in alignment, source, guidance, angels. So just like, yes. And when we dip in our vibration, we want to know why, especially when we've gone from last Monday to this Monday. If it's altered, if it's gone up, fantastic. What are you doing? Keep doing more of that. If it's dipped down, what are you doing that has dipped it? Stop doing that. And if this is the first time, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to set the energy and the intention to feel like I'm contributing at the best to my ability. And it doesn't mean to say that you have to have 100,000 subscribers like I want to contribute. It doesn't mean to say you have to have your best-selling book. It means, how do you feel about your progress in that area without the visible world changing? Robin says, I raged the week before my cycles. Oh yeah, I was going to say you raged this week. Yeah, yeah, I remember. Well, we've talked about that. So wish I had more awareness then. Yeah, I'm 50 now, so I don't know when your cycle stopped, but like, I'm like, all right now. Do you know what I mean? And it's still like clockwork because I'm in alignment with my niece, and she's like 35. So I don't know if it's going anywhere anytime soon. And my mom's like, she was fine. She was like, well, when she made that transition and those hormones and stuff, she was good. She said, I don't know what everybody's talking about. Because I was like, why would you not tell me about perimenopause, mother? She's a nurse, and I'm like, not that kind of nurse, but still. Anyway, happy and grateful and appreciate that awareness. It's just so big. And as Robin says, if you're raging the week before, the relationships around you are impacted. The way that you do your work is impacted. And I normally have a teary day, a tired day, and another day. But I can't share that. But I had 2 points where I was like teary, and I said, Robin, I don't know if you heard this. I was saying I felt homeless. I feel homeless. I don't now, but I felt homeless, and I am homeless technically. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then I did the work to lean into that and feel the feeling and release it. And last night, so there was 2 points. I didn't cry, but I felt lonely. And I'm like, I remember, and I don't feel as lonely as I used to. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is going to be part of the content it was supposed to be for today. Whatever's going on for me, I want to share it. I felt lonely. And it was more to do with the dating stuff. I took myself out on a date yesterday. And I had Chinese food. It was divine. But I'd been there with my daughter, and I'd been there when I met my twin flame. And there was families. There was just families everywhere. And families is like my biggest value. And as I've gone on this journey, it was lonely in terms of I didn't know who my soul tribe was. And now it's lonely in the sense that I'm building my business in order to travel and to go out in the world where there's nobody around me that is doing that. Right. So it's lonely in that sense. And I was like, oh, wow. I'll talk about that. Robin says that's deep, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It is. And it's just like being okay. And that's why I'm doing the journaling myself, to be okay with where I'm at and how I'm feeling. Like, if you feel homeless, if you feel lonely, it's part and just feeling the feeling, journaling about it. How can you turn it around? Because if you buy into what the mind is telling you, because I don't have to feel homeless, I've made a conscious choice to give up my home and give everything away and actually be good with that, right? And so, and then my expenses have changed, so I'm able to really focus on that. So it's like, where's the good in that? And I was reading You Were Born Rich yesterday, listening to it, and I got what I needed to turn it around. And again, the lonely, I'm like, actually, it's like, where is the context to that? And it is like manifesting my husband and putting that on my vision board is like, in that moment where you break your visualization, you break the vibration of it's already done, he's here. So what I did about it was cool. I was on Tinder anyway. What I did about it was say my humanness is getting in the way. So what I did was just, I swiped and I just went like this. Like, get out of my own way. I swiped. And then I actually had quite a hunky dishy dude in my inbox. I was like, oh, and then loads. And I did it again today. And I'm just going to take the humanness and just trust the energy it can choose for me. So, you know, it's like, I know that I'm on this journey, and I know that I manifested my twin flame, but I did that so super quick. And now I know what I know. I know that that is blocking me, but also not asking for him to come until I'm ready. And so when I went on a date last Sunday, I was triggered in the sense of the guy wanted to travel and do all these things. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I'm not financially in that sound position where I could just say, yeah, go. It wasn't in alignment. It wasn't a match, but still. So I had things to do. Robin says, exactly, be okay however you're feeling. Yeah. And Robin teaches to clear our energy with an energy healing lifestyle. It gives us more awareness and allows us to shift, pivot, heal when needed. Yeah. And in The Born Rich, Bob Proctor was talking about just being at the vibration and having faith. So my faith broke. I would have started to create from fear, right? And so Angels with Fran, who I talked about on Friday, I think it's that faith. And I know that you have a t-shirt on faith, right? And it's like, okay, bring the faith back. Blind faith, literally. I just started swiping, like, whatever, because I know it's coming, just do it. Like, stop having me see nothing. So that's what this is for. So I'm happy and grateful for my emotional awareness. I'm happy and grateful, and I will wrap up in a second. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate my environment. Like, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the dating apps. I didn't want to go back on Tinder. Like, I hadn't been on Tinder for years, but apparently the people that are on Bumble and Hinge are also on Tinder, and it's actually working really well for me. And Tinder has changed to the point where that environment is, and I share this because I have another YouTube channel called Spiritual Dating, Awakened Soulmates, Marriage CV, because that's where I want to contribute as well. Just if you're like, just going off on a tangent. And I know that my soul tribe, excuse me, also have had or are having relationships where when you are in union with that life partner or that soulmate or whatever it is, you often grow apart when you come, when you awaken to your purpose, or like you can't ever see yourself being with somebody that's not spiritually awake. It's relevant, right? And this is the journey that I'm going through. And so I've been single for almost 2 years and dating a couple of times, like intentionally, to see if I was going to get into something. And they've got spaces on Tinder, and I want to develop a dating app as well. So I'm on it, right? And dating apps can be draining, but if we want to be in a relationship, not necessarily using dating apps, you don't have to, but that's kind of the way. And so they've got spaces of looking for love. That's where I saw the guy that ghosted me and he apologized. I was like, thank you. Then unmatched him. Looking for love, travel, nature. It's the best app out of all of them. Bumble is slow. Don't even know what's going on with Bumble. I think the guys have got sick of the women not maybe messaging them first. This is an even playing ground. So Robin says, yes, faith over fear, my shirt. Yeah, it's nice. I always say take that leap of faith, and it's not in me when people come and work with me, it's in yourself. Got to run, have an amazing day. You're welcome. I'm going to wrap up. So thank you. So the gratitude in terms of relationships, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate all the dudes hitting my Tinder, like that I'm building a relationship with, like whether that's one message, like or a conversation and it just says, I've got a new match. So yeah, it's like, okay, well, let me see that this is going to happen. Let me see that, there's somebody in alignment. Let me see that, happy and grateful for that. Happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual freedom, the trust that I have in the universe, and this little gratitude stone that my daughter gave me. Really happy and grateful for that. Happy and grateful that Robin came on as well. Thank you, Robin. Happy and grateful and appreciate finances. So I went out for dinner and I was saying, I could have gone early in the at lunchtime and it was cheaper, but I went in that evening and I went and dated myself, and I was like really grateful for that. But as I was walking down, I was like, I know that when I spend money, like when you're not kind of completely over that, when you walk in the shop and you're like, how much does that cost? Excuse me, the cost of living has gone up, and I believe that it's gone up to assist in that fear of, oh my gosh, like the sauce, like condiments, red sauce is like, it's like, I don't know, 8 times how much more than it was before. I'm like, what? Anyway, so when you're just not over that, you're engaging in prices. When you see, I don't go out that often, so when I do, I'm like, what? So anyway, I'm walking and I'm like, I know that when I spend that money, it just always comes back to me. It just does. Like nature abhors a vacuum. Now I was listening to, I think I carried on listening to You Were Born Rich, because that was the book of the day for financial freedom. And Bob Proctor was talking about nature abhorring a vacuum. Welcome. So I was like, oh, I know it's going to come back to me instantly. That night, like I got a gift from my sister-in-law, and I was like, what are you doing that for? And she did. She said, here, there you go. And I was like, what? I'm like, I don't do Christmas and I don't do whatever. But she bought me, this is a big Oodie, I think it's called. It's massive. She gifted me that in the morning, and then she gifted me some money in the evening. And I was like so grateful for that. I was like, oh, you don't have to do that. That's fine. And she did, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. So that's my gratitude. I want to be happy and grateful and appreciate for what I've had, what other people contribute, and as I contribute in the world and I get my gifts out there. I'm happy and grateful for all the students that do come to me and invest. I love it. Absolutely love it. So that is it for this episode, apart from to say, come to the monthly call, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't, at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. Do comment, do share this out for somebody else who needs it. So if you've watched any of it, then somebody else needs to hear it. I'm not just doing this for myself. Again, if you're listening in the Soul Legacy Academy, then come to our monthly call. Come to this call. It's a free monthly call for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. For those of you who have got a YouTube channel, want to start a YouTube channel, who have got a podcast, want to start a podcast, and you want to, for those of you who want to get featured in the media, whether that is on somebody's podcast, on somebody's YouTube channel, in the media in general, so that we can recommend, oh, this person is doing this person is doing that. We can come together and co-create and collaborate and connect and cross-promote. I love it. For anyone who wants to be featured on the Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, if you know of a YouTuber, you know of a soul-guided influencer, I'm getting messages left and right, then let me know. Come to that call. I'm going to ask everyone, do you know of someone? I'm really enjoying doing those collaborations. It's just been amazing. So that is it from me, Iona Meade. I want to say again, share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Big love. I shall see you for Health Freedom Tuesday. Take care.